Okay, today we're going to continue on and talk about the 30, 60, 90 triangle. As I said just yesterday, or Tuesday, that the 45, 45, 90 was the first type of triangle, the special right triangle, and here's the second and the last special right triangle. This triangle is created by drawing an altitude from a 60-degree angle on an equiangular triangle. So here it is right here. Here's the altitude drawn on this triangle from one of the vertices perpendicular to the opposite side. What this does is it takes that equilateral triangle and divides one of the angles into equal parts. So instead of 60, we've got 30 and 30. Also, the altitude means that it is going to be perpendicular to the side that it is drawn. So we have this nice right triangle over here, and it has a 30-degree angle, a 60-degree angle, and a 90-degree angle. So this is the triangle that we're going to talk about today. Okay, the 30, 60, 90. Okay, one thing to keep in mind when we're talking about this particular triangle is that we have a short leg. The legs aren't going to be the same like on the 45, 45, 90. The leg that's opposite the 30-degree angle, so I look opposite it, is called the short leg. And the leg that is opposite the 60-degree angle, so travel across, is called the long leg. And of course, the hypotenuse is still the hypotenuse. That's over there across from the 90-degree angle. Okay? But in this triangle, we have to determine which is the short leg, which is the long leg, and which is the hypotenuse. So to get started, we're going to look at how to figure out using Pythagorean theorem. If I didn't know anything else, I could use Pythagorean theorem, say on this 30, 60, 90, because I know leg squared plus leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So 4 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared. 4 times 4 plus x squared equals 8 times 8. Now when I subtract 16 from both sides, I have x squared equals 48. And since 48 is, 16 times 3, I know x is actually the square root of 48, which is the square root of 16 times 3. 16 is a perfect square, so that number comes out of jail, and the square root of 16 is 4, and the root 3 stays in. Okay, that's my x. So let's see, my short leg is 4, my long leg is 4 root 3, and my hypotenuse is 8. Now let's try this next one over here. My short leg is across from the 30, there it is, 2 root 5. My long leg is the x, and my hypotenuse is 4 root 5. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem, and I know leg squared plus my other leg squared equals my hypotenuse squared. So x squared plus 2 root 5 times 2 root 5 is 4 times 5, which we know is 20, equals, and 4 root 5 times 4 root 5 would be 4 times 4, 16, and root 5 times root 5 is just 5. So x squared plus 20 equals 80. Subtract 20 from both sides, and x squared equals 60, or x is the square root of 60, which is 4 times 15. So I can take that 4 out of jail, and x becomes 2 root 15. Okay, I need a little more room for that. The short leg over here is 2 root 5. My long leg is the 2 root 15. and my hypotenuse is the 4 root 5. So looking at these examples, I can see my short leg to my hypotenuse is multiplying times 2. Short leg to hypotenuse, I'm multiplying times 2. But the short leg to the long leg, I'm taking that short leg and I'm multiplying times the square root of 3. Taking my short leg, multiplying times the square root of 3 to get my long leg. So the relationship between the short to the long is multiplying times the square root of 3. What's the relationship between the short leg and the hypotenuse? Let's check it out. Short to hypotenuse. Short to hypotenuse. Hopefully you can see that from the short leg, I'm multiplying times the number 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 root 5 times 2 is 4 root 5. So let's see if we can use that information. Oh, here's an example that just shows us how they're related. If the short leg is x, then the long leg, and remember this is across from the 30, then the long leg is across from the 60, so that's the square root of 3 times the short leg, and then the hypotenuse over here is 2 times the short leg. Wow, so to get the hypotenuse, I double the short leg. To get the long leg, I take that short leg and multiply times 3. Seems to me I need the short leg, the most important leg in the whole 30, 60, 90, because if I have the short, I can get the hypotenuse. If I have the short, it'll be easy to get the long leg. So let's look at some examples here. See if I can make this a little bit bigger. Let's see there. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe I can't. Okay, we'll go back. See if I can make it a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, we should be able to go to 125 anyways. There we go. That's much better on my eyes. Okay, so when I look at this first problem, A, first I determine which side do I have. I have the short. Okay, I need the long and I need the hypotenuse. So short to long means I take that short leg, multiply times the square root of 3. So y equals 7 square root of 3. Short to hypotenuse means I'm doubling the short leg. So x, the hypotenuse, equals 2 times 7, or 14. Okay, on this next one, it looks like I have the long leg, not the short. This one's the long. So to get the short leg, I'm going to take that long leg, instead of multiplying times 3, I'm going to take that square root of 3 this time and divide it out. So I know that my short leg must be 8. Makes sense because 8 times square root of 3 gave me the long leg. And my hypotenuse is double the short leg. So if the short leg is 8, hypotenuse is 16. Okay, on the next one, now I have the hypotenuse. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse, and I know the short leg is going to be half of it. So x is 7 divided by 2.
Excellent job. Appreciate everyone's cooperation going through this precautionary step.
Y
we are going to lift the
is
lockdown
the short
now,
times the square root of 3.
Life is normal.
So 7 root 3 over 2. Take that short leg, multiply times the square root of 3. So think again, how do these relate to each other? Oops, did I miss something here? No, I guess that's it. Okay, let's extend the page a little bit. If I want, let's say I need the long leg. So I take my short leg. To get the long leg, I'm going to multiply times the square root of 3. if I have my long leg and I need my short leg, I will divide by the square root of 3. The other thing could be short leg and I want my hypotenuse. So I'm going to multiply times 2. Maybe I have my hypotenuse and I want the short leg. I will divide by 2. Okay, important to have this graphic here so you can ask yourself, what do I have and what do I want? And if you're not given the short leg, get the short leg first. And that would be the rule on the 30, 60, 90. Okay, let's turn over to our first page of homework, which would be on page 14. Yep, page 14. Now when I look at the first problem, and I just want to do this first row of problems to get you off on a good start. Here's the short leg, x. I have the long leg. So to go from the long leg back to the short, I divide by the square root of 3. So 6 root 3 divided by root 3 is going to give me a short leg of 6. To go from short to hypotenuse, I simply multiply times 2. Okay, B is a little bit different. I'm looking for the short. That means I have the long leg, that's the 9. So in order to go back to the short, I have to take that 9, divide by the square root of 3. And remember, when I multiply top and bottom by square root of 3, I'll get 9 root 3 over 3. And 9 over 3 can be simplified to 3, so I get 3 root 3 as my final answer for x. So if the short leg is 3 root 3, the hypotenuse, y, is twice as much, 6 root 3. Okay, on this next one, on C, I've got the long leg, I need the short leg. So long to short means I divide by the square root of 3. Multiplying top and bottom by the square root of 3, I get 5 root 3 over 3. 5 cannot be divided by 3, so I'm done. That's my answer for my short leg. 5 root 3 over 3. Twice as much is y, my hypotenuse, so I double my short leg and I get 10 root 3 over 3. 2 over 1 times 5 root 3 over 3. Okay, when I look at D, I think, hot diggity dog, because I got the short leg. Finally, we get an easy problem. When you have the short leg opposite the 30, all you have to do is multiply it times the square root of 3 to get the long leg. Yay! Take that short leg and double it to get the hypotenuse. Yay! I didn't have to do any math there because I had that memorized. Let's see if we have any more problems saved in here. Okay, there's a few more. Okay, so let's look here. Another problem. Got the 30-degree angle here where we have the long leg across from the 60. So I have to take that 3 and divide by the square root of 3 to get my short leg over here, where x is, across from the 30. So when I multiply top and bottom by square root of 3, I get 3 root 3 over 3, cancel, and x equals the square root of 3. Twice that length is 2 times the square root of 3. This is 1 times the square root of 3, so the hypotenuse is 2 times the square root of 3. On F, we got a short one across from the 30-degree angle. Yay! So now to get the long leg, y, I'm going to take 6 root 2 times root 3, which will give me outside times outside, inside times inside. And that's y. Yep, that's our long leg, 6 root 6. What's our hypotenuse? X, double the short leg. Short leg is 6 root 2, so hypotenuse is 12 root 2. Okay, let's have you finish page 14 and 15 and we will check on Friday. Oops, not Friday, Monday. Oh, not Monday, Tuesday. Hey guys, you get 4 days off. Friday we'll be here having meetings, and Monday's Martin Luther King Day, so you have a 4-day weekend. I'll see you Tuesday.